This is the preface to my 2016 collection of essays, Pitch of Poetry. Here's the pitch, black and thick. The confidence man's selling, but not a bill of goods. The pitch itself, only this and nothing more. Pitch is the foul stain, the skank and stench of a viscous taint. The kind of poetry I want is when you can't get the pitch out. Poetry's the thing with feathers, tethers tarred on, as in Poe's system of tar and feathering, fathering. The kind of poetry I want gums up the works, a tangle of truths. This is the scandal of poetry, not the one but the many, not the many becoming one, but the one becoming many. Appearance precedes essence the way purpose is a perfume and being late to school is a blessing. I'm not a hell of a poet, but a poet for the hell of it, Diego Maquiera tells me one sunny spring day in Santiago. I'm self-untaught, I replied. Back home in Brooklyn, its deepest fall. The politics of poetic form is no politics at all, but it's the only politics that can't be taken away, the cartilage of the body poetic. Who am I kidding? Mostly myself. That's whom. So come on, let's beat that dead horse until we're blue-faced or green with envy or just whistling old tunes that we make up in the pitch dark of the night, until the rhythm becomes alive, if not to us, then to that part of ourselves we no longer recognize. No man is himself, even to an island, nor woman neither. Obviousness is the hobgoblin of common sense. You can't represent what you can't think, and thinking is nothing near what it's made to do. What's done's undone in the twist of a phrase or a catchy image. The past is just as lost as our love is. Our love was. Ontological pitching, a metaphysical lurch or stagger. Here, not here. Heard, not heard. Taught, untaught. Gently rapping, and then it's all you can make out. Abstraction is the dream of figuration, just as lines are a way of marking time till the sentence is over. Unheard melodies are celestial demographics. Even if you can't put your finger on it, you can still pretend to count. You go to the club in the evening only to be clubbed at dawn. How long has this been going on? There's more than one way to fleece a sheep, but only one way to stop. Echopoetics is the non-linear resonance of one motif bouncing off another within an aesthetics of constellation. Even more, it's the sensation of illusion in the absence of illusion. In other words, the echo I'm after is blank, a shadow of an absent source, a network of stoppages. Even my explanations need explication. My commentaries, elucidations, my prefaces, glosses, my shadows, shadows. Truth be, I'm afraid of my own shadow. The book starts by interweaving threads from metaphors for abstraction and representation to the poetics of cultural descent. Language Magazine gives a historical and archival ground for the often speculative essays. Pitch is the sound of poetry, but pitch is also the attack or approach, the angle. Pitch in the sense of register. Poets catch my ear because of their pitch. I prefer live wires to retread tires. In the second section of the book, I provide a set of accounts of such more perfect pitches. The poem as conceptual scheme, poetics as scam or scum. This is followed by a series of conversations that echo and extend, ravel and ruffle my threads until, in the final section, they end up in a kind of threnody. Echopoetics is dialogic critical encounters, Pataquarix is the arena of the excluded. The book concludes with a wild pitch, low and outside, for the aesthetic, which still, I hope, strikes responsive chords. The value of a poem's pitch is not in the words, but in what the words allow for a reader. As valuable as poems are for themselves, this value is eclipsed by what they may foment in intensified perceptual, conceptual experience. So let's pitch in. You and I may be referring to the same thing, but the thing's not the same. We'll bridge that cross when we come to it. Let's take play into our hands rather than becoming its plaything. For instance, what happens when you realize that the devil's underfoot might not be the problem, that Satan is dressed as if it were St. Michael? The issue is not identification with the downtrodden, but recognition that even the best angel is a dialogic angle. But some would rather curse the light than put it out. Is it an error to think my reliance on error is an error? A mirror is better than most art. I like poets who are clutch hitters, who can knock the ball out of the park. Score tied, bases loaded. It's the wind-up. It's the